now jumping into housing prices, cost of living, and topics that we're all aware of. So I'm gonna first go through the good things in Boise, right? There's lots of good things, but this is where it'll lead into some bad things. So cost of living here is way cheaper. Your gas prices are lower, closer to $2 than $6 like other states. Your taxes are lower here in general. Your utilities are lower. Utilities on average, you're gonna be around $300 to $350 a month for everything. That's your water, your sewer, your trash, your electricity. And then your Wi-Fi here is gonna be about $90 to $100 a month. Your insurance here is gonna be lower. On a lot of new construction homes or resale homes, you're anywhere from $600 for the year to $1,200 for the year. Usually it's not going above that. I'll go into taxes later because that plays into us going through each individual suburb and explaining how some suburbs could fit better for others and how others could make it, you're just trading one thing for the other. So the other thing is jobs and housing market here. So we talked about the growth with Micron. We talked about all that in the last segment. Now you have home prices here with, the median home price right now being $500,000, $550,000, sometimes $700,000 if you're over in Eagle. Now, that may be more affordable than where you're at, or it might be equal. It's starting to even out for some parts of California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Texas. It's starting to be where the home prices are the same. The problem in Boise is the job market can be lower here. So if you're not retired, and if you work in certain industries where you can't work from home, or the pay is significantly lower here, you want to look out for those things before you move here, because the last thing you want to do is move to the Boise area, pay $700,000 for a house that you can't afford at first because you're working from home, and then you lose your job from home with some of the layoffs that we're seeing lately, and you have to find a job in the Boise area, and now you're making $10, $20, $50, $100,000 less than you were making in the other states. That could make it for a miserable experience here in the Boise area. And you want to avoid that and know that the job market here, while there's a lot of jobs here, the pay has not been able to keep up with how fast the appreciation has been in the Boise area. And so you want to keep an eye out for that. Along those jobs, you want to make sure before you move here, you're checking all of the different job markets. You're seeing what's available here. You're making sure that the industry you work in has the same industry here. Thankfully, Boise has grown enough to where you pretty much have a job in every industry here for the most part. It's just whether or not it's abundant and there's lots of jobs around it, or there's not. Now, with the job market, going back to the housing prices, and what I mentioned at the beginning of this segment is the housing prices in Boise are going up. As an example, there's a couple communities here that over the last 3 months have gone up $30,000. So they're continuing to go up, and everything we're seeing with Micron, with the mass migration, especially from Washington. We've seen a huge influx of Washington people moving here. Home prices are gonna continue to go up throughout this next year, 2 years, and we could see a significant amount. The caveat with this, that if you don't get in sooner, the problem could be that California, Oregon, Washington, we're seeing home prices go down. We're starting to see more buyers, or more sellers than buyers. We're starting to see home sales go down in other states. Boise, that's not the case. It's been busiest. This has been the busiest month I've ever seen in real estate in the Boise area in the last 3 to 4 years. And so we're not seeing what we're seeing in other states in the Boise area. And so what could happen is your home prices are going down in California, Oregon, Washington, while home prices are going up in Boise. And so that affordability on housing can reach a point to where the move doesn't make sense, or it's even not doable for some people. And so it can ruin your life on the other end. If you're somebody that checks all of these boxes off and then you can't move to the Boise area, now you're stuck where you're at, or you're forced to move somewhere that maybe is not as ideal. So keep an eye out for that.